It's an absolutely beautiful fall day in Las Vegas, Nevada, and this afternoon we come to you live from the Mandalay Bay Resort Hotel and Casino as Rock Nation and Golden Boy Promotions present the weigh-in show leading up to the big middleweight championship of the world tomorrow night. Our main event, of course, the linear champ, Miguel Cotto of Caguas, Puerto Rico, takes on Canelo Alvarez, former champion, Guadalajara, Mexico. Our co-feature, the WBC featherweight battle. It's in the super featherweight division at 130 pounds. Takashi Miura, 29-2-1 from Japan, squares away with Mexico City's undefeated fighter, Francisco Vargas. We also have the junior featherweight battle at 122 pounds, featuring the former world champ, Guillermo Rigondeaux from Cuba, and he meets a Filipino named Rian Francisco. And our first fight of the evening of our pay-per-view event is the 10-round featherweight battle. Undefeated Jason Velez of Caguas, Puerto Rico meets Ronnie Rios of Santa Ana, California in the USA. Hello again, everybody. I'm the Colonel Bob Sheridan, and along with HBO boxing analyst is Karen Mulvaney. Karen, it's absolutely a madhouse in here. We don't have a lot of time to talk about the main event, but it's going to be something tomorrow.
Man, look, these fans have been lined around the hotel for hours waiting to get in just to the weigh-in, so you can imagine what it's going to be like in the Mandalay Bay Event Center on Saturday night. No more set of fans more passionate than the Mexicans and the Puerto Ricans, and they've got a great fight to look forward to between Cotto and Alvarez.
So let's focus on your next fight. You just took care of business. If Cotto takes care of business in June, are you interested in fighting Cotto before the end of this year?
Yo estoy listo para cualquier rival. Yo no lo rehuyo a nadie y estoy listo aquí para cualquiera.
I'm ready for any rival. I don't run away from anyone. I'm ready for anyone.
Expect these two guys to bring all the fireworks to the party. No better rivals than Mexican versus Puerto Rican, especially when you got two big-time punches in the game.
What do you feel about a fight with Canelo Alvarez?
I had 44 fights in my whole career. Canelo going to be just another one.
The biggest night of Miguel Cotto's career. He wins the legitimate middleweight championship of the world.
What a performance by Canelo Alvarez. The most electrifying of Canelo Alvarez's career.
On November 21st, the world will be watching for glory, for the people, for the middleweight championship of the world. Cotto versus Canelo. Saturday, November 21st, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, live on pay-per-view.
Well, the sensational pay-per-view is one thing, and we also have bonus coverage for you. It's what we call free view, and this actually has a world title fight on it. So to go ahead and weigh in the fighters that are on the undercard that you won't see in the pay-per-view, but you will have an opportunity to see. Let's go up to Joe Martinez. Joe.
What's up, Las Vegas, Nevada? Oh, come on, where's all the Boricuas? Dile al mundo, Boricuas! Mexicanos, ¿dónde están? Well, we are set to go from Mandalay Bay Event Center tomorrow night, live on pay-per-view. Cotto Canelo is finally here. We're going to get the weigh-in started right now with our free view weekend. This will be the first 2 fights on the pay-per-view, which will actually be streamed live. So let's go ahead and get them started. 4 rounds of heavyweight action, and first up to take the scale from Taylor, Michigan, Juan Good. And his opponent tomorrow night, the undefeated Chinese heavyweight. Please welcome Zhang Zhilei. Again, this heavyweight bout will take place prior to the pay-per-view. It is part of the Freeview pay-per-view tomorrow night. All right, we're going to put on the scale right now Juan Good out of Taylor, Michigan. We're actually in the process of waiting on the Athletic Commission, so just a moment, they'll be up here on the scales for us.
Hello, everybody. With me is Bernard Hopkins. Bernard, not only are you going to be a Hall of Fame fighter, but it looks like you're in the process of being a Hall of Fame promoter.
Absolutely. I mean, we're having a great time. Look at this crowd out here. They're ready to go. They're ready for the weigh-in. You know, how y'all excited about this fight? This is a great one. Who's going for Canelo? What's the other guy named? Oh, Cotto.
Now, let's talk about the fight itself. I know as a promoter that you're probably leaning towards, not probably, definitely leaning towards Canelo, but this is an unbelievable fight. Cotto, sensational champion.
Yes, this is an unbelievable fight put together by Golden Boy Promotion. And also the 2 fighters, they need to take the credit. They need the credit because they the one made the fight happen because they wanted to fight each other. This is good for boxing. This is good for everybody. And that's why you have this crowd, this sellout, really a standing room only crowd here coming to watch a weigh-in. I mean, this is not a weigh-in, but the weigh-in, and that's important.
Well, for sure, there were, I would guess about 20,000 people could have fit into the main arena here where the fight is tomorrow night. We're waiting for the boxing commission to come, so Bernard, they told us we only had a minute. Now we get some time, so tell us how you analyze the fight. Canelo first and then Cotto.
Well, I look at it being as a technical fight early, and then it will play out in Canelo's favor. And I believe he has not only the intelligence that he didn't have before when he fought Mayweather, but he has it now. And that's going to be the big difference in this fight. But Cotto cannot be the nod far as his experience, far as his time being on this level, the top level of top big fights. So he's going to be there. It's going to be some resistance, but I see Canelo winning this fight between the 9th and 11th round, possibly stoppage.
All right. The comments of the future Hall of Famer Bernard Hopkins. Now let's go over to Karen Mulvaney. Karen?
Thanks, Colonel, and I am here with Michael Yormark. He is the president of Rock Nation, the promoters of Miguel Cotto. This is your first boxing pay-per-view. Look at this. Could you possibly have imagined a crowd like this at the weigh-in?
You know, we heard that these crowds are usually huge for big fights, but I don't think any of us could have imagined this. This is unbelievable. This is the biggest fight of the year, and it's so nice to see so many of our fans out here, obviously cheering on Cotto, cheering on Canelo, so we're really excited.
Obviously, this was a big part of the reason why you picked Miguel Cotto. You looking for different guys to sign, and you told me earlier when we were talking in the week that Cotto was an important part, important leg of the stool. You needed that big established pay-per-view star, so this is doing what you wanted.
It was huge for us. I mean, in order for us to develop credibility in the sport, we've only been in the sport for about 15 months. We needed a cornerstone boxer to go along with Andre Ward, and Cotto was the perfect fit for us. So he gets us into the pay-per-view arena. Tomorrow night is a shining example of exactly why we got into the sport, why exactly we signed Miguel Cotto, and it's living up to our expectations.
Rock Nation, obviously no strangers to big events, but this is new, a boxing event, and all the planning, all the preparation, all the logistics. What has surprised you about being involved in a big boxing pay-per-view?
I don't think there was any surprises. There's just a lot of detail. You know, as I said, you know, Rock Nation is used to the big stage. You know, with artists like Jay and Rihanna and Shakira, we're used to that. But at the end of the day, I think the detail that goes into putting on these types of events are probably a little bit more than what we've seen in the past. We've been here the entire week with our staff. Obviously, we'll be here through the weekend. But it's been very exciting for us, and we hope to do a lot more of these pay-per-view fights in the future.
Let's certainly hope this is just the first of many. Let's go right back to the other side of the stage and the Colonel.
All right, with me is Oscar De La Hoya, of course, the promoter from Golden Boy. Oscar, this is unbelievable. There's such a big crowd here. We can't even get the commission in.
¿Están listos para ver una gran pelea?
How about the difference between fighting and the pressure on promoting an event of this magnitude? You've done both now. This is a huge event. You've been in huge events.
Yeah, this is a big event. People are expecting a war, and I believe that's what both fighters are going to give you, a war.
Well, the war that we didn't see with the fights involving Mayweather, and now the pay-per-view, I hear, is going great, and you expect a very, very successful event. And why not? Look at this. The crowd is so enthusiastic, and I know you are, Oscar.
Yeah, the crowd is, I mean, you can see the crowd is ready. They're ready for a great fight. Both fighters are ready. We're a few minutes away from weighing in the fighters, and tomorrow night we will see once again a classic battle inside the ring between Puerto Rico and Mexico. Who will win? That's the question. Who will win?
Well, that is the question, and about half the crowd here is from Puerto Rico and half from Mexico. The bands, the fans are out here. It's absolutely a fantastic circus atmosphere. Talk about the fight, Oscar, specifically. I think the fans and the media that are here in attendance would like to hear what you think about the fight itself.
Well, this is a classic Puerto Rico-Mexico battle, and the fact that the fans are expecting an incredible fight, the fighters know that. The fighters are going to come out right from the first bell and give you a war. And that's all I want to see is a great fight.
Well, not only that, and while we have the time, since we're waiting for the commission to show up, Oscar, the undercard is terrific, too. I mean, you got young Rigondeaux, great champion that lost his titles outside the ring. He wants them back. You got Jason Velez, and then you get the kid from Japan. I mean, these are great fighters.
From top to bottom, they're great fights. People are going to get their money's worth watching it here live, watching it on HBO pay-per-view. We made sure, Golden Boy Promotions made sure that the fans are going to be satisfied and happy, especially the main event. I mean, you cannot go wrong. It's a can't-miss action fight.
That's for sure. The comments, of course, of Oscar De La Hoya, our promoter. Now let's swing over to Karen Mulvaney. Karen?
And I am joined by the one and only former super middleweight champion of the world, Andre Ward, Andre, you were obviously hoping to be on this pay-per-view. You weren't able to because of injury. First of all, how is your knee? What is your timetable for recovery?
No, I'm fine. You know, sometimes in training camp, you know, I push really hard, and I need my team to pull me back because I'll go too far every time if they don't. And we were in tremendous shape, no injury, nothing like that. It was just, you know, swelling in the knee, and we just didn't have enough time to get it out, and I had to make a tough decision, and I'll never get in there, you know, halfway. And I don't want to give the fans that kind of show.
So do you have a timetable now for when you would hope to get in the ring?
I mean, I think in February, I think that'll be the, you know, the time that we're looking at right now. So I'm waiting to hear what the next date is. But one thing fans could always expect from me is I'm always working. Because you don't see me or something like this happens, you know, I'm going to keep working, and I'm going to be ready for the next time you see me.
Thanks so very much, Andre Ward, and we are finally ready to get this underway, so let's go to Joe Martinez.
All right, let's get these heavyweights on the scale again. 4 rounds of action headed your way tomorrow night as a part of our pre-pay-per-view event. First on the scale out of Taylor, Michigan, please welcome One Good. Good, 6 wins, 2 losses, 5 knockout victories as a professional. He jumps on the scale. And we're going 244 pounds, One Good, 244. And next to the scale, his opponent tomorrow night out of Jiangsu, China, the undefeated heavyweight, Zhang Zhilei. Zhilei 5-0 with 3 knockouts. 264 and 1/2. 264 and a half. Zhang Zhilei. Thank you, gentlemen. Good job. Tomorrow night, there you go. All right, let's get into our next fight tomorrow night. IBF World Championship on the line, bantamweight action. This bout scheduled for 12 rounds. The challenger, please welcome Lee Haskins from England. And his opponent tomorrow night, the undefeated slugger from Coachella, California, the reigning undefeated IBF Bantamweight World Champion, El Matador, Randy Caballero. And first to step on the scale out of the red corner, the challenger from Bristol, England, Lee Haskins. $117 and 1/2 for the challenger, Lee Haskins. And now please welcome undefeated 22-0 Coachella's own, the Pride. Give it up for Randy Caballero. Official weight for Caballero, 123.5.
Son las 2:52. Tiene una hora para perder lo más que puede. Una hora tiene que estar de regreso aquí, ¿ok, joven? Una hora. 1 hour.
The weight's a buck 18. He came in at 123.5.
Well, the IBF bantamweight title, you know, is way down at 118 pounds. I don't know how he can make it. He's got 2 hours to dedicate himself to the sun, I suppose. Running won't do that. There's no way he's going to be able to get down to the
again. Caballero 123.5
and keep this a world title fight.
He will have to vacate the title.
He's not even going to try, so he's going to have to vacate the title. Randy Caballero loses his title on the scale. He's not even going to try, and that's the right thing to do. However, there's still an IBF bantamweight title on the line, because if Haskins from England is able to defeat Randy Caballero, he will become the IBF bantamweight champion of the world. Very disappointed for Caballero from Coachella, California, to come in here and hit the scales that high. But there's no way guys at that size can make it down to the official weight. Not in that amount of time. So with the crowd in hopeful anticipation of getting the main event fighters weighed, we'll start out by going to Michael Buffer to weigh in the first of the pay-per-view fighters. Go ahead, Michael.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome to the Mandalay Bay right here in Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. Tomorrow night here at the Mandalay Bay, live on HBO pay-per-view. We have a great night of world-class professional boxing for your entertainment, and it's all brought to you by Rock Nation Sports and Oscar de la Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions, sponsored by Corona Extra, La Cerveza Más Fina, the Motion Picture Creed, Mexico, Live It to Believe It, O'Reilly Auto Parts, Tequila Cazadores, and CTMSTravel.com. Well, let's get things started with the first of our 4 pay-per-view contests. This is for 10 rounds. It's for the vacant WBC Silver Featherweight Championship, brought to you by Golden Boy Promotions and Miguel Cotto Promotions. Coming up to the stage first, 24 victories, including 10 wins by knockout, only 1 defeat. From Santa Ana, California, USA, he holds the NABF featherweight title, Ronnie Rios. And next up onto the stage with a record of 23 victories, 16 big wins by knockout, 1 draw. From Caguas, Puerto Rico, the undefeated Jason La Maravilla Velez. Stepping onto the scales first, ladies and gentlemen, from Santa Ana, California, Ronnie Rios. 125, 1/2 pounds for Ronnie Rios. Once again, it's for the vacant WBC Silver Featherweight Championship. Next up onto the scales, undefeated from Caguas, Puerto Rico, 23 victories, 16 by knockout. He has a draw. On the scales, Jason La Maravilla Velez. $125, 1/2 pounds for Jason Velez.
And we are joined now here by Ronnie Rios. How you doing, man? Listen, about a year or so ago, you had an unexpected defeat. Obviously, that would have been a disappointment for you. Could you possibly have imagined in that disappointment that you'd be back on a pay-per-view?
No, I didn't. At the time, I was just in a different spot, and then I was presented with this opportunity, and you know, we agreed. We've never turned anyone down. We've always wanted to fight the best. We've always wanted to give the fans the best fights, and you know, that's why I thank Golden Boy for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you so much, and best of luck, Ronnie Rios. Let's go over to the Colonel, who is with Jason Velez.
All right, with me is Oscar Velez, and Oscar, this is Jason. It's a huge fight for you. Tell me about your preparation for this fight. I see you're really trying to get rehydrated right away.
You know, my preparation were good, great actually. You know, I suffer a lot in training, but that is what it takes to be here. So I'm ready. I'm ready to give to the fans a lot of action. So I know he is ready too. So this is going to be a great fight.
Can you tell me, as a young fighter, what it means to you, Jason, to be on this pay-per-view?
You know, this is a dreams come true, because this is a big event. You know, a great event, Mexico, Puerto Rico. So I'm happy. I'm excited.
Well, we look forward to seeing you fight again. Let's go to Michael Buffer.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we go to the second pay-per-view contest you'll see tomorrow night here at the Mandalay Bay and live on HBO pay-per-view. It'll be brought to you by Rock Nation Sports, Carib Promotions, and along with Campanovo Sports. This will be 10 rounds of boxing in the junior featherweight division. First up onto the stage, 28 victories, 22 wins by knockout, with 3 defeats and 1 bout even. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Philippines, Treyan Jingtoncamio Francisco. And next up onto the stage, his opponent, two-time Olympic gold medal champion, undefeated now as a professional, 15 fights, 15 victories, 10 wins by knockout. Originally de Cuba, now living, training, and fighting out of Miami, Florida, USA. The undefeated former world champion Guillermo El Chacal Rigando. On the scales from the Philippines, Drian Francisco. 121 pounds for Francisco. And next up onto the scales, that two-time Olympic gold medalist, undefeated as a professional, a world title under his belt already, Guillermo El Chacal Rigondeaux. Undefeated as a professional, 15-0, 10 wins by knockout. Official weight? 121 1/2 pounds for El Chacal Guillermo Rigondeaux. Here they are, 10 rounds of junior featherweights. Part of the big attraction tomorrow night, courtesy of HBO pay-per-view. Here at the Mandalay Bay, Drian Francisco, undefeated Guillermo Rigondeaux.
All right, good deal.
All right, with me is Guillermo Rigondeaux, and of course a week ago he didn't have a job really, and now all of a sudden he's fighting in a huge pay-per-view. Ask Guillermo, you know, how he's feeling and how excited he is to be on it.
Dice, hace una semana prácticamente no tenías trabajo, ahora estás peleando en una de las carteleras más grandes del mundo. ¿Cómo te sientes?
Bueno, me siento bien contento, gracias al apoyo de Rock Nation que me dio toda su confianza, y bueno, así como mismo lo voy a hacer yo, estar donde tanto los grandes. Yo soy grande, soy supercampeón y es donde tengo que estar.
Well, this is the biggest stage he's been on since he came. No, go ahead and interpret what he said.
He says, I'd like to thank Rock Nation. They have confidence in me, and I'm going to give them everything I got, and I'm going to return the favor of putting on a great show.
I'm going to skip the interpreter because there's so many people here from Mexico and Puerto Rico. They understood him. One other question we want to ask. I know he was in training for a fight, but this is a whole different kettle of fish. This is the big stage. Is he ready for this fight?
Dice que estabas entrenando para una pelea, pero esta es otra cosa completamente diferente. Esta es la escena más grande del boxeo. ¿Cómo te sientes?
Ya yo he participado en grandes carteleras, he peleado en pay-per-view también, y bueno, los campeones pelean en el pay-per-view.
He says, pay-per-views for champions, and I'm honored to be on this card, and I'm ready to put on a great show.
One final question we want to ask him. Being stripped of the titles that he worked so hard to get as a professional, what's his thinking in getting these titles back, and how soon can that happen?
Que la situación que te quitaron la faja, que cómo quieres tú volver a recuperar esa faja. Qué importante es para ti por recuperar esas fajas.
El que la tenga se la vuelvo a quitar.
Whoever has my belts, I'm going to go get them back.
All right, Guillermo Rigondeaux. Now let's go to Michael Buffer.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, this next contest is brought to you by Golden Boy Promotions in association with Taken Boxing. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Featherweight Championship of the World. First up onto the scales, the undefeated challenger, 22 victories, 16 wins by KO. He has one draw on his record. Damas y caballeros de Ciudad de Mexico, Francisco El Bandido Vargas. And next up onto the stage, the defending world champion, 29 victories, 22 wins by knockout with 2 defeats, 2 draws. He comes to us from Akita, Japan, the reigning and defending WBC super featherweight champion of the world, Takashi Miura. Stepping on the scales at this time, the challenger, Francisco El Bandido Vargas. 129, 1/2 pounds for the challenger, Francisco El Bandido Vargas. And next up onto the scales, the reigning and defending world champion, comes to us all the way from Akita, Japan. 29 victories, 22 wins by KO, 2 defeats, 2 draws. Here is the champion, Takashi Miura. £130 for the champion.
After fight, suck it.
Ladies and gentlemen, 12 rounds, WBC Super Featherweight Championship of the World. Francisco Vargas de Mexico, and from Japan, the defending world champion, Takashi Miura.
On November 21st, the world will be watching for glory, for the people, for the middleweight championship of the world. Cotto versus Canelo. Saturday, November 21st, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, live on pay-per-view.
So the crowd and the anticipation that's leading up to our main event fighters, Miguel Cotto and, of course, Canelo Alvarez, is just unbelievable. These people started coming to the Mandalay Bay Hotel and Casino here to come to this Islander ballroom about 3 hours before the weigh-in. They started lining up, and the enthusiasm is absolutely unbelievable. Once the weigh-in started and the commission arrived, we began to weigh all the fighters, and the undercard is done now. And now it's just a matter of time before Miguel Cotto and Canelo Alvarez make their individual ways here, and we'll have the main event fight for you. As you know, Canelo Alvarez, the youngster of the two, 25 years of age, fighting against the 35-year-old Miguel Cotto. You know the story about Freddie and Freddie Roach handling Miguel Cotto, and it's all the excitement of the weigh-in.
Voz de la guitarra mía, al despertar la mañana, quiere cantar su alegría a mi tierra mexicana. Yo le canto a tus volcanes, a tus praderas.
Cotto is on his way, and the crowd will react, I'm quite sure. Canelo Alvarez, the pride of Guadalajara, Mexico. Miguel Cotto, 40-4, 33 KOs. And of course, Canelo Alvarez, with that baby face, he's like a matinee idol in Mexico. He's the new guy on the block and has been for the past couple of years. Coming off that tremendous third-round knockout over James Cotto. With that 35,000 people in the Minute Maid Stadium in Houston for this last fight. And of course, this guy is coming off a tremendous knockout victory himself. And I'll tell you, his knockout retained the championship when he stopped Daniel Gill in great form. Two guys that can bang and two guys that are aggressive. There's Mexico, Cotto from Puerto Rico, and that's everything that you can ask for in boxing.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, damas y caballeros, bienvenidos. Welcome to the weigh-in for the main event of the evening tomorrow night here at the Mandalay Bay, as Rock Nation Sports and Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions, in association with Miguel Cotto Promotions and Canelo Promotions, proudly present 12 rounds of boxing for the middleweight championship of the world. Sponsored by Corona Extra, La Cerveza Más Fina, the Motion Picture Creed, Mexico, Live It to Believe It, O'Reilly Auto Parts, Tequila Cazadores, CTMS, Travel.com, and Caval 7. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring the fighters to the ring at this time. First to enter the room and enter the stage, 47 fights, 45 victories, including 32 wins by knockout, only 1 defeat with 1 draw. Damas y caballeros de Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, the challenger, former unified WBC, WBA super welterweight champion of the world, Saul Canelo up onto the stage, 44 fights, 33 knockouts in his 40 victories, only 4 defeats. From Caguas, Puerto Rico, the 5-time world champion, reigning and defending middleweight champion of the world, Miguel Angel Cotto. First onto the scales, from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, the challenger, former super welterweight champion, Saul Canelo Alvarez. Executive Director Bob Bennett officially taking care of the weigh-in. 155 pounds for the challenger, Canelo Alvarez. Now entering the scales, 44 fights, 40 victories, 33 wins by knockout, 5-time world champion, recognized by Ring Magazine, the lineal middleweight champion of the world, Miguel Angel Cotto. Cotto, 153, 1/2 pounds. Once again, the weights, the challenger Canelo, 155, defending champion Cotto, 153, 1/2 pounds. Here they are, challenger and champion for the middleweight world title, Canelo Alvarez, Miguel Angel Cotto. From the Mandalay Bay, tomorrow night live on HBO, pay-per-view. 12 rounds of boxing for the middleweight championship of the world. And it's all here at the Mandalay Bay.
Alvarez, the challenger.
All right, we have Miguel Cotto here, and Miguel, all the hard work is done. What do you do between now and tomorrow?
Rest and eat well, hydrate myself, and just be ready for tomorrow.
How about your fans out here? Half from Puerto Rico, half from Mexico. This is some promotion.
This is going to be really good for all the fans, and no matter if you are Puerto Rican or Mexican, you are going to enjoy tomorrow.
I know you've been asked all week long about Freddie. What's it mean to have Freddie in your corner? And I know we all watch the 24/7 in your preparation. I know you're ready. What about Freddie in your corner now?
Freddie just make a better Miguel, and everybody going to see it tomorrow.
How do you see the fight going in the early stages? Will you go right after him? That's what everybody's expecting. They don't want another Mayweather fight.
No, we just here to one purpose is win the fight, and no matter what style we have to do, we are going to win the fight.
All right, so everyone from Puerto Rico, there's your champion, Miguel Cotto.
And now I am here with the champion of Mexico, the challenger, Saul Canelo Alvarez. Saul, you look out at this crowd. I know you've done many, many big fights before, but to see this many people here for a weigh-in, how does it make you feel?
¿Has visto? No. Has visto mucha gente en tus pesajes, pero de tener tanto apoyo, tanta gente aquí, ¿cómo te hace sentir?
No, me siento muy contento, agradecido con toda la gente. Soy un hombre bendecido de poder recibir todo este cariño y la verdad que es una gran motivación para mí. Es una gran motivación para mí y espero darles una gran noche mañana.
No, obviously this motivates me tremendously to see all these people, to have all the love. I am a very blessed man to have all this support. And the way I pay him back is by giving him a great fight on Saturday night.
When you start boxing at 15 years old, this has to be what it was all about, what you were dreaming of, this big stage like this.
Cuando comenzaste a boxear a los 15 años, ¿soñaste alguna vez tener esto, o sea, estar en esta plataforma, pelear ante tanto público y tanto cariño?
Siempre soñé en lo mejor del boxeo, ¿no? Pero nunca imaginé la magnitud ni que iba a recibir tanto cariño. La verdad que estoy muy contento, muy agradecido con toda la gente y creo que eso es lo que me motiva cada día para entrenar fuerte y brindarles grandes peleas.
I always dreamt very big. I always dreamt for the top. I never imagined so much love, so much support from the fans. But that's what motivates me more, to work harder every day and to give them the best of me and give them a great fight.
As great as it is to have all these fans, they can't fight for you. On Saturday night, it's just you and Miguel Cotto. How do you win on Saturday night?
Es tremendo tener tanto apoyo de tanto fan, pero ellos no pueden pelear por ti. El sábado en la noche vas a ser tú y Miguel. ¿Qué tienes que hacer tú?
No, tengo que poner todo de mí arriba del cuadrilátero, ¿no? Entregar todo de mí, entregar el 100% y así lo haré. Me preparé para una gran pelea, me preparé para dar lo mejor de mí y salir con la mano en alto.
No, tremendous. That's no, without a doubt. I mean, that's what I prepared for. Obviously, I know what I have. It's a tough task in front, but I'm ready for it. I'm prepared for it, and I know what I got to do.
So finally, Cotto came in pretty light, 153.5. Are you expecting him to try to use some speed in the ring on Saturday?
Él llegó bajo de peso, llegó en 153.5. ¿Piensas que va a tratar de usar velocidad arriba del ring?
No, bueno, yo creo que yo hice mi trabajo. Es lo importante, sé lo que traigo, sé también el rival que tengo enfrente, pero me preparé para todo, lo que tenga que tener Cotto, me preparé para él y estamos listos para este gran reto.
Look, I prepared for everything. I'm ready for everything or anything he can bring. What his weight, what he does, that's his. I'm ready, and I'm ready. I know I have a tough challenge in front. I know what Miguel Cotto brings, but I'm ready for it.
That is Saul Canelo Alvarez. He is the challenger on Saturday night. Let's go to the Colonel to bring this thing home.
All right, so that's it. We've got the weigh-in complete. You heard about how light that Cotto is, and you also heard what, of course, Canelo had to say about that. It seems like both men, as we interviewed them, are only concerned about themselves personally being ready. Obviously, you could see them on the scales that they look absolutely fantastic, and they're ready to go for the fight. Well, that's it. We've got a huge pay-per-view show for you tomorrow. You want to check around and make sure that you're able to get it. They're weighing in some of the fighters that are on the undercard now. And while Karen Mulvaney is back here, Karen, anything that you take out of the weigh-in?
head on over to the Hard Rock Hotel.
I think you couldn't find two more confident guys than Cotto and Canelo. They both look ready for battle tonight.
Well, they look ready, so here's what we have coming up for you. The big pay-per-view tomorrow evening, live Saturday, November 21st, pay-per-view from the Mandalay Bay. The WBC and Ring Magazine Middleweight Championship on the line. Miguel Cotto and Canelo Alvarez.